If you like spending time outside, you probably also like trying to spot different wild animals in the area. Have you ever seen a plant or animal and thought, I'm not really sure what species this is? It may be the day that you learn about a new plant in your area, or perhaps you found an invasive species.
Hey Katrina, what's an invasive species?
I am so glad you asked. Come with me and I'll tell you all about it. Invasive species are those that have been introduced to a new area outside of their native environment, and they cause harm in this new space. Any living organism, a plant, animal, bacterium, or fungi could be an invasive species. This doesn't mean that all non-native species are harmful, but invasive species can reproduce really quickly and spread out, and this can ultimately damage the biodiversity in an ecosystem. There are many invasive species that can be found in Ontario now, but there's one we're going to talk about today, and that is a species that you can see and learn about here at Science North. This is Winston, and he is a red-eared slider. This species of turtle is not native to Ontario, but they have been documented in our wetlands and waterways.
Hello.
Species can become invasive in several different ways, but the red-eared slider has primarily done so because they were once pets that were released into the wild. While you should never release a pet into the wild, people often mistake the red-eared slider for a painted turtle and believe that they belong in the same area. While Winston here may look pretty similar to a painted turtle, there are some key differences to tell the two species apart. Red-eared sliders and painted turtles both have beautiful striped colors going down their head, arms, legs, and tail. However, the location of these colors is extremely important to help you tell these two species apart. As you may expect, the red-eared slider has very distinct red or orange markings on either side of their head. This is the only place on their body where you will find the red stripes. The rest of their patterning is yellow. Painted turtles will only have yellow stripes on their head, so no red markings, and their arms, legs, and tail is where you'll find the orange to red coloring. Why should we care that there are red-eared sliders in Ontario? They are native to the southern United States, but can survive in colder climates like we have up north. This is an issue because the red-eared slider is outcompeting native turtle species for food and shelter, and ultimately this can harm their populations over time. There's also always a risk that new species can bring disease or parasites to wild populations. It can be a sad story, but there are things we can do to help wild species and support natural populations. 1, never release an animal that was a pet into the wild. If there's an animal that you need to surrender, contact your local pet store or a wildlife rehabilitation site to find out the best and safest way to do so. 2, be mindful while traveling. Check your clothes, your luggage, and your camping supplies for any plants or animals that could be hitching a ride before you leave the site. 3, report any species you suspect could be invasive. Check out invasivespeciescenter.ca for more information. At Science North, we're passionate about protecting wild species and spaces. Visit the 3rd floor to learn about the animal ambassadors and their wild counterparts. And follow all of our social media channels to learn about the awesome, amazing, cool stuff that happens at the Science Center. 3,